What are some of the impediments that keep us from actualizing our goals? Whether it's a small, short-term goal, dream, or it's a long-term dream or goal of ours. What are these obstacles? Are they internal? Are they external? Is it both? For me personally, not until I realized that life is short. I know it's a gloomy thought. And based on what I've learned, we don't like to think about it. I know I didn't like to think about it for a long time. If somebody mentioned it, I didn't want to think about it because nobody wants to think about death. But I've realized that that's a mistake. Not until I actually sat down and thought about it on a day-to-day basis. Until one day I really truly understood that I will die someday. It's really hard to explain because all of us know that we're gonna die. We've seen people, maybe you've seen people in your own life, a grandparent or a friend, somebody in your life that has died. And you know that, again, you are going to die, but you haven't really felt it. And until you feel it, you're not going to have that sense of urgency. Have you had a deadline at work? Usually we get it at work, or if you're a student, you have a deadline. You have to turn in a project, an essay, at a timely manner by this time, this day. Death is the ultimate deadline. And until we understand this, we're going to postpone it. I know I postponed it. For example, me sitting here right now, recording this very video, it would not be possible if I had not contemplated on my imminent death that's gonna come. And what's curious about this is that we don't know when it's gonna happen. Yes, I'm young. I'm 37 years old. Alright, so I'm relatively young. And I'm healthy. I take care of myself. I make sure that I eat the right food and not eat for several hours a day. I do intermittent fasting. We can talk about this in another video if you're interested. But I make sure that I take care of myself as best as possible. I do have vices, but they're controlled now. So I'm assuming that I'm going to be living for a couple more decades. But it's just an assumption. I don't know. This is one of the realizations that helped me begin this process, this YouTube project, this finally sitting down and talking to this camera in my little home studio. I'm a musician. I will show my setup, and I'm sure in videos to come I will probably play my music. I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I started it anyway, okay? Because I didn't want to die before I do this. Again, I'm not assuming that I'm going to die soon. I don't have any chronic illnesses. But just there is this sense of urgency that I have. I don't have a fear of death. Maybe I do, but thinking about death doesn't mean that you're going to have this fear of death, but you're just going to have this sense of urgency to begin the thing that you wanted to do for a long time. I've always enjoyed watching YouTube videos, and I've learned so much from a lot of these videos, and I've wanted to contribute and do the same if I can. And I realized that I can, and I did. So that was one of the reasons that was holding me back. The other one was I wanted to be perfect before I begin. I wanted to know all the editing skills. I wanted to have all the lighting skills, all the cinematography skills. I wanted to have the best gears possible, all the great lens. Everything had to be perfect before I began. And, well, again, I realized that if I'm waiting to be perfect before I begin, it's sort of a resistance that is being manifested in me. It's some kind of a resistance, some kind of a obstacle on the path of actually starting it, right? To expect to be perfect and only then to start, I realized that it's never going to happen. And I realized that I just need to start. And in order to sort of go beyond this desire to be perfect, then start, in order to say, okay, I'm just going to start. I'm just going to think about what it is that I want to talk about. Write down. I sit down and I write, and I come up with this topic and a content that I feel deeply about, and I'm just going to start. So I made it very simple. Okay? One thing that allowed me to do this has been non-attachment, being detached from any particular results. What does this mean? I'm detached from anything that is outside of my control. It is not in my control how many people watch this video. It is not in my control how many people like this video, how many people share this video, how many people subscribe. It is not in my control how many people enjoy and get value from this video. So I'm not going to concern myself with that. I'm only going to concern myself with what I have control over, and that is to record this video, to think, to sit down and write my ideas down, and contemplate on what I feel strongly about that I want to talk, what it is that I want to share, what it is that has worked for me that I want to share with other people. That's all I can control. I make that, and then I post it. And then everything else is outside of my control. Alright, so this was very profound for me. It really helped me begin this project, even though nobody's watching these videos. No one has watched any of the videos that I've made. And I know it's not because I'm terrible at this, although I don't think that I'm really good at this, but I don't care about that. All I care about is to do the work. The rest is not up to me. And even though no one has subscribed, no one has watched, I'm making these videos. And every time that I do this, right after I publish the video, right after I finish talking to the camera, I feel much better. Even though I'm not making money, even though no one is watching again, I know that at some point, if I continue, of course it's going to happen. That's another thing that helped me begin the process. And I hope that you realize that I'm sharing this with you in order for you to also begin that journey. Okay? From someone who has just begun a journey. And in this particular matter, it's a journey of, making YouTube videos and everything that's involved with it. Right? I'm sharing all the things that have been holding me back, but then what toppled it? How did I overcome those inner resistances, different forms of resistance that have been holding me back? And the fact that you are watching this video is proof enough that I stand by what I'm saying, and actually the things that I'm saying are what I'm using in my life. Okay? So far, realizing that my life is finite, it's impermanent, and death is staring me in the face. I don't know when it's gonna happen. And because someday I will die, and none of it matters really, because when you die, none of it matters, then I decided I'm gonna start and leave something behind. So then when I'm dead, there's something behind. Again, I'm not expecting to die anytime soon, but I know for sure that all of this is gonna end. And that realization not only allowed me to begin this adventure, it allowed me to appreciate life more. Every moment is just so much more beautiful once I fully realize that it's gonna end. Alright, so that was one obstacle. The second one was being attached to some kind of a result that is outside of my control. Being attached to wanting to be successful right from the bat. And the third one is to expect myself to be perfect in all of the skills, editing skills and all that, which I'm not using any of those things that I've learned, because I actually realized that I like this more, to, of course, think about it beforehand, write down a script, but then just put it all away and just talk to the camera, because there's something about this being like a live performance that I love. And being a musician, I think a live performance, there's some kind of a magic in it. And I like to do that when it comes to this. Sharing my thoughts and ideas and things that have worked for me live to the camera. So it's a little bit slower pace, which I know in this day and age, it is boring to most people. But I'm just gonna do it the way that I want to do it, and I'm okay with people not wanting to watch it, right? But I know that there are gonna be some people who are gonna enjoy this, different way of delivering information on camera, on YouTube. And that's okay. So, and now, so far we've mentioned some of the obstacles that have been keeping me back, right? What is another obstacle that has been keeping me, holding me? Nothing else is coming to my mind. And I think that this has been, so far, what I've said could be useful. So I'm going to end this video. And tomorrow is another day. I can make another video. And my aim is to make a video per day and put as much value as I can in it. And in my mind, I'm imagining that slowly I may change the format of my videos. I may go towards more kind of production, maybe include my own songs in it, and make it more appealing. But I'm not gonna let any of that keep me from making videos, right? If I don't have time to put a lot of production into my videos, I'm not gonna wait until I have more time. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make these videos and put them out. And I'm hoping that this is inspiring you to just start doing whatever it is that you want to do. Whatever it is. Don't wait until you're perfect at it. Don't wait until you've taken like 100 different online classes before you start. Spending money on how to make your YouTube channels successful. Like you spend $500 on that class, $100 on that class. And believe me, I've done it. And I'm not using any of those tactics. Of course, there are some lessons that have sort of lodged into my mind and have helped me sit here and talk to the camera. Of course, do all of those things, but start your adventure, even if you're not good at it, even if you're not perfect at it. Just begin doing the work and take your classes on the side and slowly level up the quality of your videos or whatever it is that you're doing. But just begin the process. If you've always wanted to sort of quit your job and become a freelancer, I'm not saying quit your job, but I'm saying go ahead and make that website. Go ahead and just do it, alright? If you don't want to make it yourself, hire someone on Fiverr to make that website for you. Become a freelancer. You have a lot of fear. It's scary as hell. But just do it. Just do it. Don't worry about it so much. Just do it. Along the path, you will know how to improve it. And no one expects you to be perfect right from the start. Just go look at the first videos of your favorite YouTubers. Just go back in their timeline and look at their first videos. You will rarely see good videos, good, awesome productions right from the beginning. It's not possible, right? Just like how it's not possible when you plant a seed of a rose and expect it to grow right away. It's gonna take some time for it to grow. You're gonna have to nurture it every day. I don't expect my YouTube channel to have thousands of subscribers right from the start. This is my 4th video. It's irrational, simply put, to think of it that way. But it has been keeping me for a long time from starting the venture. So please sit down with your morning pages that I mentioned in the previous video and just start thinking through writing. Just think and just write and write and write and write about, ask yourself questions. What is it that I want to do? What is it that I've always wanted to do, right? And it's okay if you don't know the answer. It's okay if it's a week of writing every day and thinking about it every day and realizing that you don't know what it is exactly that you want to do. You will find out. And a lot of times you know what it is, but because it goes against the grain of society, it goes against the priorities that society says this should be a priority for you, you just ignore it. But at some point you realize that that thing that you've been wanting to do that is different from what your tribe believes in, different from what your country believes in, but it's something dear to you, you will finally find out what it is. And you will do it. okay? And you may realize that there are several things that you want to do, okay? So for me, YouTube videos are not the only things that are not the only journeys that I'm on. There are several other things in the realm of music, in the realm of storytelling. There are so many things that I love, and I didn't know these before. I was working at a corporate job, and I was super depressed. But I started asking questions, and it was painful at first because I realized how far away I am from making a change in my life and getting myself out of this soul-crushing job and finding another way to support myself and starting to learn these different things such as playing piano, music theory, synthesizers, production, orchestral composing, and so many other things. But I'm so glad that I did. I'm so glad that I asked myself these questions. And I'm so glad that I began doing those things. And now I'm glad that I've began this venture. Again, even though the only subscriber is me from another channel so far. It's okay. This is another example of internalized goal. For me, the fact that I'm making these videos and I'm uploading them to the server is a win. This is an example of an internalized goal. I mentioned this in my first entry, internal goals versus external goals. You can check that out so you can understand more about the difference between internal goals versus external goals. Okay? I'm going to stop talking at this point because it can go on for minutes and minutes and minutes, and I don't want to bore you more. It is a magical feeling at the moment to imagine that somebody else is going to watch this video, and I really hope that this happens. And I really hope that you get some value, maybe some inspiration, maybe some fire in you to, when you hear it from somebody else, some other human just like you, that has overcome some of the obstacles that has been keeping him from starting a venture. And you're saying, if he can do it, I can do it. And that is true. You can do it. You can do it. Thank you for listening and watching. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.